Damn, you have a bigger production team than I do, bro. Isn't that wild?
I mean, you would have been wrapped. Which I bought.
So you're not even getting paid in vegan wraps.
He had the isolation all the way down.
Well, I mean, yo,
Whitewash is so funny.
this is a challenging shooting environment, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this is...
The other place, it was right by Universal, is the lower end. And
Yeah.
we got there and there was one bench, and then unfortunately you had the Los Angeles homeless, and it's like,
Yeah, it's tricky, man.
I don't know if this is, this is where you want to be for it, but.
Well, this is better than the restaurant we were gonna do it at. That's kind of like, it's like a little, like, sceney little place.
The food was good.
Yeah, the food's great there. They got this thing, is that where you guys went for the food?
Yeah.
To Heirloom?
Yep, exactly.
They have this thing there, it's called the spicy tomato egg dish. It's like their most famous dish. It's like this little like spicy egg soup that you dip. It's not like soup, but it's like scrambled eggs with like tomato and hot peppers, and you dip bread into it, like toasted ciabatta. It's delicious. Anyways, all right, this is your show. I'm just on it.
Dude.
What's the plan? How do you want to do this?
I have some topics I'm just going to run through.
Are we rolling and we're good to go?
We're rolling.
All
We're
right,
just
let's
going
run it.
straight into it. So, this is my second time out west in 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, right? I'm from the East Coast. I was born in Boston, so I'm a huge, if you're born in Boston, you got to be a Patriots fan, a Celtics fan, all that.
Sox fan, yeah.
Yeah, and then moved to Maryland, and then you come out here, and it's almost like being in a different country.
It is.
And you had a crazy story out in Connecticut, but then you made with all the pivots in your life, the shift from going from East Coast, living, the most major city there, being New York for all the business, and then shifting to coming out to LA. Like, how was that?
I came out to LA with Sean from Lovesack for the first time, and I came out here, and like you said, it's a different world.
Right.
I think you see the mountains for the first time. You see palm trees and how they juxtapose with the ocean, and the girls and everything that goes on out here, and how people are so different. But I fell in love with it,
Right.
Immediately. Since the first time I came out here, I was in love with California, with Los Angeles. The choppers.
I know, yeah. Exactly.
That's an LA thing, right?
Right.
And I just fell in love with it out here. But the other thing I quickly realized was that coming from the East Coast to out here, and how we're raised in that fast-paced lifestyle, that's a cheat code out here.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I got out here, I saw a lot of opportunity to utilize that fast-paced business mentality that I was gifted with.
Right.
Born with and bred, inside of me because of the East Coast, and put it to use out here. And I think honestly, for people out in New York that eat their lunch off their keyboard instead of, taking a 2-hour surf break like everybody
Right.
out here is used to, and getting a vegan wrap,
Yeah.
you bring that East Coast mentality out here and you're going to win.
You just put your head down. It's so different. I was touring colleges, one in San Diego, and it's beautiful. It's right on the water, but everyone constantly, it's just, let me go surf. Let me go down and surf.
Skate,
and I'm like, yeah, exactly. And for what I want to do, it's like, I'm not even sure that's the environment I want to be in for putting my head down and, getting to work. And it's just so interesting. I imagine, outside of moving into, the Maverick house, just the transition from East Coast to West Coast is crazy. But then you were essentially living at your work. It was no longer a 9 to 5. It's a 24/7
Absolutely.
job. And what was that?
I got woken up by lawnmowers. I got
Right.
woken up by, people bashing my door down with battering rams. Wild,
Right.
wild, and a completely different life than I could have ever imagined. Just a major challenge, and I think it's the same challenge, whether it's the living arrangement or just life in general out here for me and a lot of other content creators that we all walk, is this like line between. Talked about this on Jeff Wittick's show the other day. When you watch a episode of Jimmy Fallon, or when you watch Friends,
Yep.
they shut down, man. After they're done acting for the day, they go home. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? And they spend private time with their wives and family and their kids and their dogs, and there's no cameras, there's nobody watching them as they go in their pool. There's, if something happens funny on their Nest footage on their cameras at the house, they watch it, but they don't post it anywhere. We don't have that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We don't have that what is it called? Like the fourth wall is broken. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Our lives
cameras on
bleed over constantly, right? And so it's that's been a real challenge for me. And I think like I saw an opportunity over the past like couple years to really do what a lot of other great content creators have done and really exploit my life and make it and turn it into entertainment and turn it into something that people could watch and learn from and be inspired by or laugh at or whatever. And it's gotten me really far in the space, but it's also burned me.
Right.
You know, it's also burned me quite a bit putting so much out there, you know, and anytime you're vulnerable like that, people that don't like you and don't want to see your successes and don't want to see you win, that's where they see opportunities to take shots. And you know, especially I'm sure as you've seen over the past couple months, I've really been struggling with a lot of that stuff.
Right.
You know, and so it's started to push me away from that. And so, you know, there's a good chance over the next, you know, call it 6 to 12 months that you start to see me go a little bit more into produced content and a little bit further away from that extremely transparent stuff, because it's
Mentally tolling.
it takes a very, very serious mental toll to have everything that you do on the internet.
Right.
It really can fuck with your head, especially for someone like me who has the potential to run into those kind of mental issues.
Where did the idea for the night shift come from in the name, the night shift? Because it's such like, I understand, it feels like it resonates more with an East Coast viewer. My dad used to work 12 to 8.
Yeah.
Literally the night shift. And it doesn't feel like, it feels like it speaks more to the quieter commenters. You know, people who may not be, you know, on Twitter 24/7, but they sit back and enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're exactly right. You know, the night shift was, I don't want to call it a mistake, but it was a random happening. You know,
Right.
it was I wanted to start shooting looser content that wasn't as planned out. It was more of this like improv talk show, the way that it originally started. And I remember I sat down with Evan on the desk of Impaulsive and I covered up the sign with this makeshift the night shift sign, the infamous night shift sign. And I stuck it on there and, you know, we just started going. And I said, welcome to the night shift, you know? And I don't think I put all that much thought into the name of the show, but as it started to kind of take off and, you know, it went from 100,000 views to 400,000 views to 600,000 views, I started to think about this idea of working late, you know, of kind of my mentality,
Right.
you know, of kind of this idea that the grind doesn't stop, you know, and I think it resonated with a lot of people out there, a lot of people who have that same mentality,
Right.
you know, and it was what originally made people kind of fall in love with the show. Was this they thought that I was taking the piss out of YouTube, right? That's what
Right.
they called it. They were like, he's making a joke of it. You know, he's sitting on this set with this dumb sign talking about these ridiculous, you know,
Paper sign, yeah.
with the paper sign, talking about these ridiculous happenings that the internet makes seem important, but they're so stupid. I
Right.
remember like the first topics I was talking about were like other ridiculous relationships, you know, Tana and Jake and all
Yeah.
this stuff that, like, you know, when you ask someone who actually works the night shift in the real world, they're like, what the are you talking about right now?
Right.
Like, why do we care about any of this shit?
Right.
And at the time, that was so funny to me. Like, I was new to the world. I was like, just like being indulged in this space of randomness, and I started that show. And it, you know, it had Poets Corner and it had Toilet Time with Spencer and all these like original segments. And then at some point, I did the Kicked Out series, and that was when I first started to mess around with the idea of the night shift being almost like a vlog. And it was right before Logan's fight with KSI, and he wanted everybody out of the house.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this vlogging stuff a little bit of a shot and see where it goes. And the reaction to that stuff, you know, when I was a meeting, because the thing about me is, a lot of my success that I have and a lot of my ability to create content comes out of the relationships that I've built.
Right.
And I personally, I really mean this when I say it, I personally don't know that there's someone else that's as connected to so many different influencers and creators as I am. I talk to everybody, and they're all my friends. And people always, you know, have this like clout chaser thing.
Yeah.
These are my friends. They're all my friends. Like they invite me over to parties. We're all friends. We hang out. They hit me up when they have questions about life or business or content or whatever, and I add value and they add value to me. We're all homies. And so it would be stupid of me, ridiculously stupid of me to not utilize those relationships to create content, right? And so I saw that opportunity when I did the Kicked Out series and everybody was in town for the fight, and I met up with Roman, I met up with the Nelk Boys, I met up with Austin, I met up with all of these different creators, and I created this kind of first wave of night shift vlog content. And the reaction to it was great. People were like, yo, we like this, it's light, it's loose. The reaction to it was great from a new set of people who were the fresh eyes, but the original night shift audience didn't f with it. Yeah. They didn't like it. They said, yo, we want the studio back. We want the studio back. And so I had to make this decision at some point what I was gonna do. I was like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna keep this niche, like culturally relevant talk show that's segmented with people sitting on toilets and like, you know, Instagram girls making cookies and like that? Or am I going to try to go after the mass set and try to bring major eyes onto this? And so what I ended up doing and what I ended up with after like a few months or a couple months of the vlogging was a hybrid approach, which is a segmented vlog basically. It starts off with me clocking in, it moves into one segment, there might be some fill shots with different characters from the house or, you know, at the time, a lot of Lana and stuff like that, and then into another segment which will usually be like a food review or some sort of food, and obviously the night shift and food have kind of become synonymous at this point, and then clocking out, right? So it's this, as opposed to it being like this loose vlog, it's more of a produced segmented piece that I love where it's at right now. I love the hybrid model of kind of spontaneousness mixed with a more produced program.
Gotcha.
That was the longest answer.
No, it was, dude.
Because I'm assuming that people that are gonna watch this are gonna be people that actually care about it. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And yeah, that entire, you know, because I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm 18, right? I know I got all my life ahead of me.
So much, bro.
And it's just like, what do I want to do? And I've practiced with, you know, the Cody Co type reaction content. Yeah. And people, I say people, it's not like you, but the people I've had watch, they really enjoyed it. And then moving into like vlogging and seeing the battles of, okay, do I want to appeal to this audience or this audience? And, or am I going to try and have a broad range? And you're always going to piss people off like that. So, I mean, that answer was like gold for someone like me, right?
I mean, listen, it's tricky. It just depends on what you want to do, right? And I think, you know, like obviously for me, it's my situation is non-replicable. I don't think there's really many people or anyone has ever gone through a situation where, you know, I started with Logan and he gave me an initial platform, you know, of a couple 100,000. You know, he aided in the platform, and I'll never say that he wasn't so important and so, you know, influential and you know, kind of a big part of that process. If I was still making if I was making my vlogs in Connecticut, who knows what would happen? But my guess is it wouldn't have had the same kind of firepower that Logan Paul put under it, right? As a result of, you know, me and him starting Impaulsive together and just his general, just being his right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll never, and I'm so thankful to him and grateful for him allowing me to and blessing me with that, right? But then you layer on Lana, which, you know, went from 200,000 subs to, you know, those initial vlogs with her got me to 2.2 million. You know what I'm saying? Before the relationship. And so like, I'm thankful to her. But obviously the common thread between all of it is me creating content, you know,
people don't subscribe if they don't enjoy
if
the videos,
there's if there's no content. Like that's the thing, people are just like, yo, like I could have been Logan Paul's business partner, never done Impaulsive, made a ton of money. I could have been Lana Rhodes' boyfriend, stayed behind the scenes, made it whatever, managed her, who knows, because business. That's not what I did. I went out, I concepted, I casted, I created every week through the pandemic, through putting out the book that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? Like, people always want to look for this like easy answer. Oh, he hooked up with with people that have clout. So that's what, no. Do you know how many people are around this industry that will never make anything? That will be assistants, and those people are pertinent, and I'm grateful for them.
Right.
But that will never in their mind say, yo, I have what it takes to fucking do this, and now I'm going to go do this shit. And they're comfortable.
Right.
And that's completely fine, but that was never who I was. I was always gonna fucking make it.
Yep.
And nothing that happens, the removal, the addition of certain people in my life is ever gonna stop me, bro. It just won't. And I just know that. Like that's the mentality you have to have if you want to make it, bro. That you're going to make it regardless.
Say you're making content you do like, and it's not doing what you want it to do, or you're sitting, you read too many mean comments, right? And you're like, man, maybe I'm not it, right? Was that ever, or is it to this day still something you struggle with?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how do you push through that?
Absolutely. And by the way, like, I don't care what creator you're talking about. Like, there's nobody that doesn't struggle with that or hasn't struggled with that at some point. No one's perfect, and no one's able to block all of it out. And also, like, listen, like, I am extremely confident in myself, but also I deal with the same kind of self-doubt and the same kind of, kind of sabotaging situations in my mind that everybody else does, especially people that have been born with a propensity to mental illness, anxiety, depression, whatever it is, because that's where I've been my whole life. It's trying to keep those things under wraps so that I can keep going. And honestly, over the past, call it 2 months or whatever, I think because of the misconceptions, because of a couple mistakes that I made, because of the assumptions that have been made about me, and ridiculous, unproven stuff that is just so crazy, but I choose not to argue because it adds fuel to it. The wave of that sentiment has been so strong that I fell into this place where I started to care way too much about that. Even still, when 99% of the people that watch the videos were thumbs up, and 99% of the comments were, yo, you inspire me, yo, your book changed my life, yo, I stopped shooting heroin because of your story, yo, you're hilarious, yo, all this good stuff. I got into this mode where I got so consumed by that 1%. Yeah. And I also got so consumed by commentary on the internet in general, where like I forgot to start going to talk to actual people.
Right.
Like, those people online are actual people. Those are just keyboards.
Right.
People don't think before they comment. That mean. They just want, some of them want a reaction, some of them want, and so it's really important that at any stage in your career, you're able to be really rooted in the difference between reality and what happens on the internet. Because a lot of the stuff you see on the internet just isn't real life. Yeah. It's just not, and I've been so transparent and so honest, about but it's still these storylines that get created that you have no control over. It's you gotta be able to make your own decisions about people.
Right.
You have to be able to, and not fall into the trap of believing on the internet, because a lot of it is untrue.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out the whole food in an interview, or who does it really well? Sean Evans, Hot Ones. I mean, it'll never.
People sleep on me with food, bro.
Well, you have the whole burger segment.
Yep, I think I'm the voice for the burger. The burger world right now, to be honest with you. I don't know that.
No one's doing it like you.
No, I don't think so. Did you already explain to the audience, how this happened? Yeah, right?
Yeah. So this is, I'll just tell you, I'm doing a vlog on getting to this point, and then this is a separate, probably 15-20 minute edited, and then obviously a little bit edited, but the long form will be in podcast form. Online, because I figure you either like sitting down and watching 50 minutes or you don't, and for those who want something shorter, but so
you know why I'm here, right?
I have no clue. That was one of the things I was like, why is he
doing
this?
So first of all,
besides food,
well, that's part of it. First of all, I like doing this kind of. Right. I really do. I don't think I'll ever be the guy that's like, nah, 50K for the sit down.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not me. It's just not, no, it's just not me, man. You know what I'm saying? I half of my enjoyment in life comes out of just talking to people, random people. How can I help you? Like, how can I add any kind of value to your life?
Right.
It will never go away. It will never leave me. If you're at the bus stop, I'm going to talk to you. Dude, when I meet fans, I hate using that word, but when I meet fans, like, can I get a picture? No, yeah, you can get a picture, but I'm gonna stand there and talk to you for an hour.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you here? What are you doing? What's the deal with your life? That's just who I am.
Yeah.
I thoroughly, actually, selfishly enjoy doing that. But the real reason I'm here is because I want to teach kids your age, I call you a kid, but people your age,
Yeah, I get it.
the idea of consistency. What did I tell you on day 5?
You said, yeah, he said, it was funny because one guy goes, Mike, just buy the kid breakfast. And you said, we'll see if he gets to day 100, right?
Yep.
And when I saw that, I was like, all right, time to put the pedal on the metal and keep these notifications going.
And that was not for no reason. That was because I want people to understand the idea of consistency. You gotta go after something. You gotta keep going after it until you get it. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. It looks like that.
Right.
Everything looks like that. Like the same way I explained it before with my journey. Everything looks like that. Oh, he got clean, walked out of rehab, and got in a Logan Paul's
Right.
car, and then dated Lana Rhodes.
Right.
Do you know how many failures I had?
Yeah.
Do you know how many setbacks I had? Do you know how many stressors I have had? Do you know how many mental meltdowns I had? Do you know how many therapy appointments I had? Psych appointments I had? All that.
Right.
But the only thing that was consistent was that I kept going through
Right.
everything and didn't stop.
Push through.
And you push through, bro, and you have to do that, and you gotta keep going. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't let your foot off the fucking gas, bro. It's so important. I think people, hit these obstacles in life, and they hit these roadblocks in life, and they want to shut down. And I almost just did it recently.
Right. I posted on that Twitter near day. I don't know if it was like 1:15. It was nearing the end. I was like, I am a person who I don't respect spamming, anything like that, which is ironic because that's essentially what I was doing, right? And that tugging the line, I don't know. Did it get annoying at some point, or was it just like, oh, there's that kid again?
I mean, you got people on my Twitter to like rally with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which was interesting to me because usually there's people that'll say like stop spamming or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, bro, he's not gonna suck. Like,
But you went all in. You changed your handle to it.
Yeah.
Like tweet at Mike Majlak till he lets me buy him breakfast. And honestly, I have to say the food was a part of it.
Right.
Like you knew like something in your head told you that you could. A lot of this is about marketing.
Right.
Everything in life is about marketing. Really, bro.
Yep.
It really is. Whether it's how you market yourself to women, how you market yourself to potential employers, how you market yourself to anyone. It's all about marketing. And so clearly you made a connection between the fact that I love food, the fact that I love long-form conversation,
Right.
and I might do it, and you put it all together. You know what I'm saying? And then when I told you, yo, be consistent, you were consistent. And so you have that knowledge innately in you, clearly. You know what I'm saying? And that mindset in you. And that's what I always had too. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew what to say, when to say it, and how to brand. And branding's everything, dude.
Yep.
How are you branding yourself? And so right off the bat you branded yourself as someone who knows how to get someone to sit down. And now you got to go and do it again with somebody else.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. And to give back to that Twitter community that told you to do this, we took some questions from them, which I, thought would be interesting.
Fire away, bro.
And so from, oh, dude, I didn't even think about this. I have no clue how to say these names. Amila Pelletier wants to know what your favorite restaurant in Connecticut is. She says this is not really relevant, but she's been dying to know.
So we, as a family, we've always gone to a place called Barcelona, which is in South Norwalk and Stamford. There's a couple different locations. Bar Taco is a great spot. I love Mexican food, so Bar Taco is definitely up there. There's some great restaurants in CT. There's some great spots in CT. Bobby's Burger Palace up at Mohegan Sun is great. Yeah, I would say one of those, probably.
Oh, this is a good one from, I'll do it for him. YouTube Leg Elusive. Do you love what you do?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I love, I don't know. I mean, listen, there's that saying, like, when you find your passion, you'll never feel like you work a day in your life.
But there are days you feel like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, because of the obstacles that come with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that saying is outdated. Like, that was like, oh, when you were a painter, you know what I'm saying? Or when you were if you were a landscaper. Now imagine if you were a painter, but there was 40 motherfuckers over your shoulder saying, that's not right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, what if you had done this instead? Or what do you think this community is going to think about that? Right. You know, and it goes back to me being able to block that out. But yeah, being a creator has a lot of strange niche issues, you know? So of course I love what I do, of course, you know, and I love concepting and creating and all that stuff. But damn it, yeah, I mean, it has its pitfalls too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. This one was funny to me. Where do you think you'd be in life if you hadn't previously done drugs?
I think I'd be a dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like an actual pussy. Like, and I don't mean, sorry, let me rephrase that. You could use that part, of course, but what I mean by that is if I hadn't gone through trauma, the drugs, I don't care what it is. We all go through trauma, high levels of it, some more than others. But I wouldn't trade that for the world. You know what I'm saying? That taught me everything I know. That life taught me to keep going when it gets tough.
Right.
That life taught me to be empathetic for other people. That life taught me to understand, you know, when you have it good in life and to be grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Something I still struggle with doing every day, but at least I understand it gave me perspective. And more than anything, it gave me empathy for somebody who's down. And that's why I do. That's why I do the shit I do. That's why I take meetings with people that people are like, did you get paid for that? No, I didn't get paid for that.
Right.
But do you know how badly I wished that somebody would have come to me and been like, yo, here's how I can help you. Here's what I think you should do. Here's some ways to get ahead in this rat race of a life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I do that stuff, because I was there. I was when I meet with people now, I was 80 levels below them. Yeah. Generally, whoever they were. You know, I sometimes run into like, a Travis Mills person that had all their limbs amputated at war, and I just sit there and I'm like, damn, it was never that bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, when I meet up with people, I'm able to be like, yo, I understand you. I can relate to what you're going through, and here's how I would get on it if I could. You know, if I were you. Yeah. So I wouldn't trade that for the world. That's everything to me. That story is all of my power.
Right. It built who you are and where you are today. Right. And then this is actually his question. He was wondering where the line was when it comes to supporting someone who's struggling with addiction versus enabling them.
It's a magic question, man. That's the biggest question in the world. It's so hard, bro. It's so hard to be a family member and watch that. It's honestly one of the saddest things in the world to be a family member and be helpless, be powerless completely over addiction or mental illness or some combination of the two. And you know, as mothers or fathers or brothers or sisters or lovers or whatever, innately, you know, we're programmed to want to just coddle and love endlessly and just be there for that person no matter what. Right. And that's what's bred into most of us, you know, is that idea that, yo, I can hug this out of them. I can love this out of them. And, you know, on the converse, there's another, you know, crowd that wants you to say, no, like, you're cut off completely. Figure it out. And I personally believe that there's a balance there, but I've never been able to properly explain to anyone how to find it. Right. It is just one of the hardest things on the planet, you know, and I went through that with my mom and with my entire family for a decade. You know, this idea that, I could stay at the house and I had this job to do or whatever, and they're paying for a cell phone, and eventually it led to a place where eventually it leads to a place where somebody, I think, a lot of addicts end up getting there themselves, and they do it to themselves, and they say, yo, I'm gonna stop today. But a lot of times it comes down to somebody pulling your card.
Yeah.
And it was a combination of my mom, but also my probation officer, who eventually said, yo, like, it's over, man, the run's over. And then it's you. Then it's all on you. Once someone takes you out of it and says, yo, like, you're gonna change for the short term, then it becomes the addict's responsibility or the sufferer's responsibility to say, okay, I'm gonna run with this now.
Right.
Somebody just handed me the torch and I'm going and I'm not stopping. I'm not using again. I'm not burning people again. I'm not selling. I'm not robbing. I'm not doing any of that shit anymore because I want to have a life, dude. And that's the big thing. I think it's easy to cut people off or it's not easy, but I think there's a point where people get cut off and they have to make a decision for the rest of their lives.
Right.
A long-term decision. And so it's such a tough question. I talk about this on a lot of addiction podcasts. It's just really challenging to tell a mom to tell their kid at 16 years old or 18 years old, get the fuck out of my house.
Right.
It horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying. Knowing that could be the last time you ever see your son is I can't imagine there's anything more painful than that.
Right.
So it's a really, really tricky topic, dude.
Well, I don't want to use up too much of your time, but I would be remiss to not address this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, which is like
fight of the century.
A phrase coming out of my mouth like 2 years ago. What? Right? And the day after he loses to KSI, his next fight's going to be Floyd Mayweather. What?
Bro, we're all as surprised as you are about it, man. It's just, it's mind blowing, and the kid operates at a level that is above everyone else's.
Right.
He told me, and he's been saying it since day one, and he told me in January 2nd of 2018, and that whole year too. I want to be the biggest entertainer in the world, and now he is again.
And he's produced. I mean, I watched that this morning. I watched that show.
Crazy.
The next level.
Crazy.
I mean, that was crazy. And then in the recommended, it was like Showtime, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. They're like, these are the names he's next to right now.
Wild. It's been tough to not be there with him. It's been tough to be on the sidelines. But it's amazing to watch. It's just a wild. And June 6th, Miami. I'm headed down there on the 1st, and we're gonna film an episode of Impaulsive that's gonna come out right before the show. And man, if he's able to walk in that ring and and have some sort of miracle occur, I think it's just. We've always said that it could be it could be the end of the simulation. The world could potentially implode upon itself if
Logan Paul hook to Floyd Mayweather knockout
and not I don't mean an explosion. I mean an implosion.
Right.
Like the world actually implodes.
Exactly.
And so that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that the Logan Paul victory over Floyd Mayweather this weekend is actually the catalyst for the end of this planet. Yep. And I see it happening.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is my Jimmy Fallon moment. You ready? Mike Majlak, author of The Fifth Vital. It's arguably, is it okay if I say top 3 books I've ever read without calling it number 1?
No, you can call whatever you want. It's your opinion.
It is fantastic. I listened to it driving to New England actually, and I couldn't stop listening. I mean, I got out of the car, put the earbuds in, and my grandmother was like, "What are you doing? Can we like talk?" I'm like, "No, I gotta hear what happens next."
It's a wild story, huh?
Get the book. It's Amazon Prime, which thank God, and I listened to it on Audible, narrated by Adam Sandler himself. And yeah, dude, thank you so much for doing this. It was awesome.
Consistency, bro. If you guys are watching this at home, get after something and keep going until you get it. That's why we had this sit down today. See, I love this.
And then
I love this.
On the back, you got Majlak, number 1, because the first guest.
I love that this is how you're thinking.
So I figured.
He created a niche. He created a niche. Like, it's amazing.
You know, I like didn't think this was gonna happen.
It happened.
Like straight up, I was like, nah, but whatever. Dude.
That was awesome, bro.